Most advertisers are happy just getting cheap leads, but did you know that optimizing for conversion leads can increase your sales and quality of leads by 44%? And this is huge if you're an agency or a business owner. Because here's the thing, no one wants low quality leads. And if you really want to improve your Facebook ads, especially if you're using lead forms, then you need to watch this video. I'm going to show you exactly how to set this up using Facebook lead forms, Go High Level, and Facebook Conversion API. And this is going to be the most in-depth and technical video around this topic that you've ever seen. And for those of you new to my channel, my name is Rafael Hernandez, and I've managed over 10 million in ad spend and worked with brands like Neil Patel's NP Digital and 𝗪𝗁. And I spent 5 years working as a software engineer before building my agency, Great Marketing AI, where we use the latest AI-powered marketing strategies to deliver world-class results. Cool, so let's jump right into it. So what type of results can you expect once you set this up? So when you switch the optimization from just leads to conversion leads, what you can expect is that your lead quality is going to increase. You're going to see a slight increase in cost per lead, but again, we're optimizing for quality, not volume. Your cost per qualified lead is going to decrease, and your conversion rate, your lead to sell, is also going to increase by around 44%, right? And Meta has some numbers that it states based on all the data that they're tracking, and overall, you're going to see an increase in quality. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set up your Facebook pixel, and I have a whole video on how to set this up. My recommended way of setting up your pixel is using GTM. GTM essentially acts like the hub for all of your tracking or your website and your funnels. Trust me, you're going to want to use GTM. Long term, it's also going to be better for more technical tracking for your websites and funnels. So just go ahead and set that up. Once you have your pixel set up, you're going to want to get your pixel ID and your access token. So these two are very, very important things that you're going to want to make sure you use and kind of get familiar with on how to find it. So you can get your pixel ID by getting this dataset ID here, and then the access token, you'll go to settings. So you go to your events manager, Facebook events manager, data sources, settings, and then set up direct integration. So Facebook events manager, you find your pixel, you go to the settings, and then if you keep scrolling down, there's going to be a section that says conversion API. You're going to want to generate an access token. If you can't generate the access token, it's probably because you're not an admin for the pixel. So save those two things, really important: pixel ID and access token. Save both of them. And then what I recommend is that you add these values as custom values in Go High Level. So you go to settings, custom values, and then you can add those values. That's just going to make it so much easier for you later on once we continue this. So save them here, Facebook access token, save that there, Facebook pixel ID, and then you could copy these and use them in your workflow actions. Another thing is you're going to want to add UTM parameters. So you need both the URL parameters at the ad level and hidden fields in the lead form. So this is one part that I see a lot of advertisers miss, is the hidden fields. So the ad level, even though the user stays within the native Facebook environment, you should always populate the URL parameters field at the bottom of your ad setup. So here in your ad, always add this URL parameters. It's also really good practice. Even if you're using native forms, this is what I recommend. So add the URL parameters there. Why? Because Meta's internal attribution is becoming more reliant on these parameters to communicate with CAPI and Meta Pixel. So even if the lead doesn't visit your website, having those UTMs attached to the ad helps Meta's algorithm close the loop on which specific creatives and audience generate the lead. So set up your parameters there. So this is one place. The other place is in hidden fields. This part's often overlooked, and a lot of people don't even know this part exists. So there's hidden fields in the lead form. So when you go to your lead form, you click the little settings icon here on the top right, and then your form settings, tracking parameters, and then in here you can actually add your UTMs. So you can see here, you can include tracking parameters to help you identify where your leads come from. These fields won't appear in the form users see when they submit their info, but you'll be able to see it when you access your leads via API, download, or configured DRM, right? So you want to add it here as well. So when a user clicks the ad, Meta automatically passes these values from your ad URL parameters into those hidden fields. And you might be asking, okay, so what do I actually add there? These are some of the more common UTMs and some of the values we like to add and you'll want to add as well. So UTM source, Facebook, UTM campaign, these are all dynamic values. Campaign name, UTM medium, UTM content, campaign ID, ad set ID, ad ID, placement, and platform are also pretty helpful. And then also you'll want to add something like this in the URL parameter section, right? Your source, So you add the parameter, the value, and then the ampersand, and then you also continue the rest. And you just copy this into this section here. The next thing you'll want to do is integrate ad account in GoHighLevel. So you go to GoHighLevel, go to your settings, go to your integrations, so GoHighLevel, settings, go to integrations here, and connect your ad account, right? Your Facebook page ad account. Once that's connected, you're going to want to go to your workflow actions and integrate CAPI. And before we do that, let me explain funnel events and lead events, because this was really confusing for me when I didn't understand like when to use funnel events and when to use lead events, but this is going to help break that all down. So integrating the Facebook conversion API, CAPI with GoHighLevel is the secret sauce for high performing lead generation. It allows your CRM to talk back to Meta's algorithm, telling it which leads are actually qualified. So you'll see this word thrown out a lot, CAPI, right? But the CAPI is essentially a way that we send extra data back to the pixel using server-side events. Funnel events versus lead events. So the reason why this is important is if we go down here, this is the Meta conversion API action inside of GoHighLevel. So if you go to a workflow, an automation in GoHighLevel, and you look up conversion API, you'll see something like this, right? The conversion API allows advertisers to send web events from their servers directly to Meta. So Facebook conversion API, this is the action name. You select integration, event type. It's either going to be a lead event or a funnel event. And this is why this part's really important. And I want to explain how that all works. So funnel events. Funnel events are used when a user interacts with your GoHighLevel landing pages, surveys, or booking calendars. This tracks the user journey on assets outside of the Facebook platform. For funnel events in the Facebook conversion API action, the triggers that are used are form submissions, survey submissions, customers booking appointments, order form submissions, right? Those are funnel events. Lead events are specifically designed for Facebook instant forms, right? The native forms, the lead forms that open inside the Facebook app. So lead events in Facebook conversion API, you can actually only use the triggers Facebook lead form submission and pipeline stage. When someone submits a form, using the Facebook lead form, that's the trigger, or a pipeline stage. So here's a little summary. Funnel events, GoHighLevel landing pages, websites. Lead events are Facebook native lead forms. Funnel events are for form submissions, surveys, calendar submissions. Lead events are for lead form submissions and pipeline changes. For funnel events, click ID is really important. For lead events, Facebook lead ID is really important. And for this we're maximizing web leads. For this, we're maximizing conversion leads, which is what this video is, right? Maximizing conversion leads. I'll do a separate video where I go in more in depth on how to set up CAPI for like funnels and all of that. But again, this is for Facebook lead forms. So you're running Facebook lead forms. This is how to improve your quality of your leads. Because one common issue with lead forms is people complain that the leads are low quality. This is one way you can improve that quality. Another recommended thing that I do is I do the OTP on the lead forms. It requires them to submit a one-time passcode to verify their phone. And that also will improve your quality. Like I ran into issues in the past when I didn't do things like that. And I would run a lead form and we would just get like low quality leads, sometimes even bots somehow, right? And those are the things you can do to start improving that quality of the lead forms. And especially this part is huge. A lot of people don't know about this. And a lot of people don't understand how to set this up properly. So this is gonna change the game if you're running Facebook lead forms. Technical requirements, the access token and the pixel ID, which is we just talked about. These must be generated. Automatic Facebook click ID and lead ID matching. So GoHighLevel is designed to automatically capture the lead ID from the native Facebook form, which is great, right? And it also has built deduplication. Let's just say on a funnel, on a landing page, someone is gonna submit that form and we're going to trigger a lead event from the browser back to the pixel. But with CAPI, the way it works is through the server. So we're going to send a server event back to the pixel. The issue with that is now Meta thinks those are two separate events, a browser event and then it got a server event. Deduplication, what it does, it then matches those two events, the browser and the server, and it just says Meta, hey, this is actually just one event. And that's why this is important. So event ID is super important when it comes to deduplication, right? So it's required for deduplication, ensuring that Meta doesn't count the browser pixel hit and the CAPI server hit as two separate leads. So that's GoHighLevel handles that already, which is great. So this is the integration here. And those custom values that you created earlier in the video, you're going to want to add your access token here, your custom value access token and custom value pixel ID. And then in stage name, whatever stage this is, you're going to want to add that there. And then for value, you can leave that empty unless it's like an actual purchase event, USD currency. And then you can leave this disabled so that it actually uses the default, which should be good. Okay, so to ensure your conversion leads optimization works, your Go High Level workflow must be configured as follows: event type, lead event, your access token, your pixel ID, your positive stage, which is a lead, schedule, etc., and then just leave custom mapping disabled. This is what I like to do when it comes to setting up all of these CAPI workflows. So you see here, we'll just zoom in a little bit. I have this CAPI plus funnel data workflow, and I have all of these pipeline stage changes, right? So I have one for new lead, I have one for valid lead, for appointment booked, appointment showed, quality appointment showed, and one. The reason why I like to do this is now I have one workflow to handle all of my CAPI events back to the platform, and we'll go into how and why I set it up this way, like that's as far as the stages goes. But just know that this Facebook conversion API, each one of these, they're all super identical to this. The only thing that changes is the stage name, and you can choose whatever name you want to use, right? Like for example, for new lead, I have lead, then I have valid lead, MQL, appointment booked, appointment showed, like literally the same name as the actual stage, right? So you want to make sure you add the stages here, and then you add the CAPI event there. The reason why I have two here is if I move over a lead from appointment booked to quality appointment showed, and they're actually like a really high quality lead, and I move them to this stage, I first send a schedule CAPI, and then I send the quality appointment schedule. So that's why there's two. Maximize number of conversion leads. In your ads, when you're setting up these instant form ads, for the performance goal, it's going to ask you if you want to use maximize number of leads or maximize number of conversion leads. So what's interesting is that when you start a fresh new campaign, it's actually going to default to maximize number of conversion leads. And I actually started noticing this here is that Meta actually has a little, tag here that says recommended. It's actually Meta's recommended way. So when you're setting up your ads, you want to make sure that you select maximize number of conversion leads, or, this whole setup isn't going to really help that much. This setting tells Meta that a lead is not just someone who fills out a form, but someone likely to move to your positive stages. And I'll show you right now how to set up your positive stages. So this filters out junk leads, and standard lead ads often attract form fillers who never answer the phone, especially because instant forms are a lot easier to fill out, right? So there's less friction. This setting uses machine learning to find users with behaviors suggesting high intent and actual interest in buying. It also leverages deeper funnel signals. It connects Meta's AI to your CRM via CAPI. Once Meta sees that specific lead became a qualified lead in your CRM, it finds more people like that instead of just finding more people to click submit. It also improves algorithm accuracy. So this part's really important. And to configure your sales funnel, those positive stages, here's what you need to do. So to optimize for conversion leads, you need to tell Meta exactly which events signify a quality lead. So this is my recommended funnel configuration. Your setup should look something like this. And just like I showed you the screenshot of that workflow, this is how it's set up. These positive stages are going to be lead, qualified lead. For a long time, I didn't have, but sometimes you're going to get people that fill out the form. Some of them are going to be funnel hacking you. You're going to get people just putting in junk information. And what we want to do is try to avoid telling Meta, hey, these junk leads are the leads that I want. So that's why we have this qualified lead. So whenever someone comes in as a lead and we verify, hey, this is a legit person, it's not someone funnel hacking us, it's not a bot, we move them over to qualified lead. We check that they have the budget, they're actually like a legit business, they have a website. We move them over to qualified lead. And then we mark them, it's like MQL, right? Marketing qualified lead. So it's higher intent. Then if that lead ends up booking an appointment with us, then it's a schedule, right? So they booked a call with us. Then if they showed up, that's even more high intent, because a schedule versus a schedule that actually showed up is more valuable to us, right? So then we also send schedule showed. We also have a quality schedule showed. So like if someone schedules a call with us and they're super high quality lead, like they meet our criteria, they're someone we would want to work with, I move them over to quality scheduled showed instead of just scheduled showed. And then also purchase, right? They became a client, they purchased, the ultimate goal. So you can see what that looks like in my pipeline. So then I have the new lead stage, and then I have the valid MQL, and I just move them over there. So what you want to do is you want to go to your events manager, go back to your pixel, and then here you'll see this section that says CRM. you just want to make sure that you click modify. That's going to help you configure your sales funnel, and you're going to open up a page that looks like this. Here, what you want to do is you want to add those positive stages to your sales funnel. So the ones we went over here: lead, qualified lead, scheduled, schedule showed. You want to add those stages there. You might not see them until you actually get those events sent back from Go High Level back to your pixel. Once you see them, you'll want to click plus, add them here, put them in the right order, and then click use funnel. Pro tip: don't panic if your cost per lead goes up. So we had someone where we set this up for them. They watched our videos, they emailed me, hey, can you help me set this up? We set it up for them. And then he's like, our cost per lead is going up. Well, here's the thing: don't panic if your cost per lead goes up. We're optimizing for quality leads. So your cost per lead might increase, but your cost per qualified lead is going to decrease, right? You're getting higher quality, higher intent lead, right? And at the end of the day, if your sales team is closing twice as many people and your ROAS is improving and your CAC, customer acquisition cost, is improving, then that's what really matters. So don't get caught up on optimizing for the lowest cost per lead. Last thing here is pixel optimization. So super quick setting. You can kind of pause and read through some of this, but there's this setting called automatic advanced matching. One of the easiest wins for improving your campaign performance. Why you should turn this on: better conversion attribution, larger custom audiences, improve ad optimization. How it works: Meta doesn't just see the data, the information is hashed encrypted before it's sent to the Meta server. So go to your pixel, go to settings, scroll down till you find this section that says turn on automatic advanced matching, and then turn that on. Use customer information to match event instances on your website to a Meta account. Helps us show relevant ads to people on Meta. So use hashed versions of information your customers have provided to your business, like an email address, phone number, to match your customers to people on Meta. So turn that on. If you have this error that you don't have admin permissions, then get someone who has admin permissions to set that up. This is a full in-depth guide on how to set that up properly. I'm gonna have another video on how to test your setup and what to look for on a bad pixel that's not set up correctly and what a good pixel looks like. So if you like this video and you want more videos on Facebook ads, marketing, and other agency related tips, then click the subscribe button and stay tuned for the next one.